Amid the towering skyscrapers lies a reality few talk about: homelessness, a deep and complex part of life in America. Join Discover Wonders as we uncover these stories, and don't forget to comment and share to help spread awareness. Skid Row, Los Angeles, America's most notorious homeless community. Skid Row in Los Angeles isn't just a neighborhood, it's a haunting symbol of urban decay and social neglect. Stretching across 50 city blocks, this area is home to one of the largest unhoused populations in the United States. The streets are lined with makeshift tents, broken dreams, and a palpable sense of survival against all odds. Here, thousands battle the daily struggles of inadequate housing, untreated mental health conditions, and substance dependency. The chaos is undeniable, yet within this seemingly hopeless environment, an unspoken resilience thrives. Residents, though abandoned by the system, have built a community bound by shared hardship and unwritten rules of survival. Volunteers, activists, and grassroots organizations fight to bring aid, but the scale of the crisis exposes deep cracks in America's social safety nets. Skid Row is more than a place. It's a warning, a glimpse into what happens when a city, even one as glamorous as Los Angeles, turns its back on its most vulnerable. Will change ever come? Or will this infamous district remain a permanent scar on the city's reputation? Manhattan, New York, the hidden struggles of a financial hub. In the heart of New York City, where glittering skyscrapers touch the clouds and Wall Street hums with financial power, another reality exists, one hidden in plain sight. While million-dollar deals are struck in high-rise offices, countless individuals fight for a place to sleep just outside those same buildings. Luxury and destitution coexist here in an uneasy balance. The astronomical cost of living forces many into the margins, seeking refuge in subway stations, under bridges, or in shelters bursting beyond capacity. Some are the forgotten casualties of gentrification, while others are working professionals who simply can't keep up with the relentless rise in rent. At night, as tourists flood Times Square and elites sip cocktails in rooftop bars, the city's other side emerges. Cardboard beds appear in storefront doorways, and weary faces disappear into alleyways. Manhattan may be the land of opportunity, but for many, it's also the place where dreams slip through their fingers like sand. How long can this city, a symbol of prosperity, continue to mask its growing inequalities? Tenderloin, San Francisco, a neighborhood in crisis. In the shadows of San Francisco's booming tech industry, the Tenderloin district tells a different story, one of struggle, desperation, and survival. Just blocks away from Silicon Valley giants, where fortunes are made in seconds, this neighborhood grapples with a devastating reality: a relentless housing crisis, rampant drug use, and an overwhelmed social support system. Walking through the Tenderloin is like stepping into a forgotten world. The air is thick with the scent of survival. Street vendors selling whatever they can, artists painting stories of resilience on graffiti-covered walls, and people fighting battles that most will never see. Despite the squalor, there's a pulse here, a sense of unyielding spirit. Community kitchens provide meals, outreach programs try to help, and even in the bleakest moments, human connection remains. This district is a glaring contradiction in a city fueled by innovation and wealth. It raises an unsettling question. How can a place that has revolutionized the world's technology struggle to provide for its own people? Will San Francisco find a way to bridge this gap, or will the Tenderloin remain a painful reminder of what happens when progress leaves people behind? Brooklyn, New York, gentrification and displacement. Brooklyn has long been a cultural melting pot, a borough where artists, musicians, and working-class families carved out a unique identity. But today, the streets tell a different story. Glass-walled luxury condos tower over once affordable brownstones. Trendy cafes replace decades-old mom-and-pop shops, and lifelong residents watch as their neighborhoods transform into playgrounds for the wealthy. Gentrification here isn't just an abstract concept, it's a daily reality. Rising rents and soaring property values have forced countless families to pack up and leave, some relocating to the outskirts of the city, others facing homelessness. The very artists and visionaries who once gave Brooklyn its charm are now struggling to afford the place they helped make famous. Yet, beneath this wave of change, a quiet resistance grows. Community groups fight to preserve affordable housing, and longtime residents push back against the tide of displacement. The question looms, can Brooklyn retain its soul, or will it become another victim of unchecked urban development? Venice Beach, Los Angeles, where tourism and homelessness collide. Venice Beach is a place of contrasts. By day, it's a sun-drenched paradise where tourists stroll along the boardwalk, marveling at street performers and vibrant murals. By night, it's a different world, one where hundreds of unhoused individuals search for a safe place to sleep, caught between the waves and the city that often turns its back on them. The same elements that make Venice Beach a cultural icon, its openness, its artistic spirit, its bohemian roots, have also made it a refuge for those with nowhere else to go. Tents line the beachfront, and the struggle for survival plays out just steps from luxury boutiques and multi-million-dollar homes. City officials attempt to clean up the area, often resorting to controversial sweeps that displace the very people who have called this place home for years. But where do they go? The battle for Venice Beach isn't just about real estate, it's about human dignity, about who gets to belong in a city that prides itself on diversity. Will the soul of Venice Beach survive, or will it be reshaped beyond recognition? Fremont Street, Las Vegas, beyond the neon lights. Beneath the electrifying glow of Fremont Street's neon signs, a different reality unfolds. Tourists flood the casinos, their eyes fixed on jackpots and dazzling shows, while just a few steps away, those who have lost it all wander through the streets, invisible to the crowds. Las Vegas is a city of extremes, where fortunes are won and lost in an instant. For some, it's a thrilling escape. For others, it's the end of the road. Homelessness here is an undeniable issue, yet it remains largely hidden in plain sight. Many unhoused individuals seek refuge in storm drains beneath the city, forming underground communities away from the bustling tourist scene. With a local economy built on temporary wealth and fleeting luck, those who fall through the cracks have few safety nets. The stark contrast between the spectacle of Fremont Street and the struggles of its forgotten residents raises an unsettling question. In a city that never sleeps, who gets left behind in the shadows? The Bronx, New York, a community battling inequality. The Bronx, once the fiery heartbeat of hip-hop and a beacon of cultural resilience, now finds itself at a crossroads. The echoes of its artistic and musical legacy still ring through the streets, but they are increasingly drowned out by the sounds of struggle. Eviction notices being posted, shelters filling beyond capacity, and families forced to make impossible choices between rent and food. Gentrification creeps in, but unlike in Brooklyn or Manhattan, where luxury overtakes entire neighborhoods, the Bronx remains a battleground of inequality. Affordable housing is scarce, public services are stretched thin, and many working-class families are one paycheck away from losing their homes. The borough, long neglected by city officials, carries the weight of systemic failures, from underfunded schools to overwhelmed social services. Yet, despite the hardships, the spirit of the Bronx remains unbreakable. Local organizations, faith-based groups, and neighbors step up where institutions fall short. Mutual aid networks, free food programs, and grassroots advocacy efforts weave a safety net that the city itself has failed to provide. The Bronx has always been a place of reinvention, but the question now is, can it thrive without pushing out the very people who made it what it is? Capitol Hill, Seattle, a struggle for stability. Capitol Hill, once Seattle's epicenter of counterculture, LGBTQ+ activism, and artistic expression, now finds itself overshadowed by a growing crisis. The streets that once hummed with creativity are now lined with makeshift shelters, as soaring rents and unchecked development push more and more residents into homelessness. Seattle's tech boom transformed the city into an economic powerhouse, but at a steep cost. Housing prices skyrocketed, and many who once called Capitol Hill home found themselves displaced, unable to keep up with the rising cost of living. The city's progressive reputation is tested daily as it grapples with a homelessness crisis that seems to defy every attempted solution. Despite community-driven initiatives and grassroots efforts to provide aid, the situation remains dire. Tent encampments are regularly swept away by city officials, yet no long-term solutions emerge. The struggle for stability in Capitol Hill reflects a larger battle across America's wealthiest cities. How can prosperity and equity exist side by side? Phoenix, Arizona. Surviving in the desert. Phoenix is a city of extremes. Towering luxury developments rise against a backdrop of unrelenting desert heat, while just blocks away, thousands struggle to find shelter in a climate that can be as deadly as it is beautiful. Unlike older cities where homelessness is often hidden in alleyways or subway tunnels, in Phoenix, it's right there in the open, on sun-scorched sidewalks, under freeway overpasses, in sprawling tent encampments that seem to grow larger by the day. The city's rapid expansion has fueled economic growth, yet the supply of affordable housing remains woefully inadequate. Those who fall into homelessness here face not only economic hardship, but also the brutal elements. Local outreach programs work tirelessly to provide water, cooling stations, and emergency shelters, but the demand far outweighs the resources available. In a city where summer temperatures regularly exceed 110 degrees to 43 degrees Celsius, homelessness isn't just an economic issue, it's a matter of life and death. As Phoenix continues to grow, will it find a way to protect its most vulnerable residents, or will the desert claim even more lives? 30th Street Station, Philadelphia. A transit hub turned shelter. Philadelphia's 30th Street Station is a place of constant movement. Travelers rush to catch trains, students lug backpacks through its grand halls, and business people sip coffee before their commutes. But amidst the motion, there is stillness. Individuals seeking refuge in the station's corners, their lives paused in a city that keeps moving without them. For many experiencing homelessness in Philadelphia, 30th Street Station is more than just a transit hub. It's a temporary shelter, a place to stay warm in winter and cool in summer. The marble floors and high ceilings contrast sharply with the fragility of those who have nowhere else to go. Philadelphia, a city known for its rich history and blue-collar resilience, faces a homelessness crisis that mirrors those of much larger metropolises. Shelters fill up quickly, and affordable housing is increasingly out of reach. The station, with its endless foot traffic and relative safety, becomes an unintended refuge, a microcosm of urban struggle. As the city debates policies and programs to address homelessness, one thing remains clear. The people at 30th Street Station aren't just passing through. They are waiting for a system that often forgets them to finally take notice. Homelessness is a challenge that requires collective effort, compassion, and strategic investment. By working together, we can create a future where everyone has a place to call home. If you found this topic meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to help spread these stories and solutions.